I should be cleaning, but I'm gonna play for a little bit. Hey there, it's Care. Welcome to my take at the lake. So I have all my paints out and my sprays from a project I just recently did, and I should be cleaning this mess up, but I just watched Janet Nash's scraping video, and of course now I want to scrape. I got my card out. I already had the paints out. Why put them away to get them out again, right? Saving time in the craft room. That's what I'm doing. Usually, not always, but usually when I watch YouTube craft people, they have a project that they do from start to finish. And it just doesn't work like that around here for me. I do things in stops and starts, and when I have a few minutes, or when I take a few minutes, I do something in it. And today, because I just watched Janet's video, and because I don't want to do the cleaning that's waiting for me in the other room, I'm going to do a couple of background pages. I have two I want to do, although I'm pretty sure one's going to have to dry, although the scraping dries really fast. So we'll see. I might do two right away, or one now and one in a little while. The point of the video is you don't have to sit down, know what you're going to do it, and finish it every time. You can start messy. You can start not knowing where you're going to end up. You can start just do a little bit. Like, I just want to scrape now because Janet was talking about calm crafting to soothe the tired soul. And that's what it is here, this apparently part of this month too. All last month. It's okay. Butterbean just had a tiny little episode, and he's stressed because I'm stressed, and we're just gonna throw paint. I have no idea what I'm gonna do with this page, and I don't have to know. Pardon Buddy, he's doing the best he can. It's like backwards sneezes after his little episodes, so you may hear him snorting up a little bit in the background, but I wanted to get this video done, so we're gonna just, it's okay. Maybe you don't even hear it. I know a lot of times we hear stuff in our craft room, our neighbor mowing the lawn, or my man-child neighbor starting up his crazy big noisy truck, and you don't hear it at all. So maybe you don't hear him. It's okay. Nice and calm today. So like I said, I have all these paints out. I did a brayer background the other day, and if you missed that, I'll just quick show you how it ended up. I just took my brayer, my little brayer, this little guy, and put paint on here and brayered it out, and then made a background page. And of course the brayer won't get down into the crevices, so I had to do some finger painting, which is always fun. Actually, I really don't like it when people get their fingers in their gesso and do that. It just kind of creeps me out, but I kind of just wanted to do it fast, so I ended up, and I see I still missed some, so I might take my pinky and do some more finger painting later, but I have no idea where this page is going to go or what I'm going to do with it. And it's okay. I don't have to know right now. Next time I come to this, maybe I'll know. This is just a little bit of texture paste through a stencil. But today I'm going to do Janet's scraping because it's gentle and easy on a tired mind. So I'm just gonna, I believe she just put some paint down and scraped it around. It's probably a lot of paint for a teeny little book page. But I have pages here. I've got some stencil wipe off. I did some spraying on a stencil. These are Rolodex card sheets. Thank you, Donna, that I cleaned off my ceramic tile with, and then I sprayed some stuff. It's almost like a jelly plate. It's got three-dimensional juicy bits on there. That's always fun. This is a wipe-off sheet. So if this is too much paint for this little page, well then, I gotta be careful which side I mess up. I can't mess up the dog side. I'm gonna mess up the other side, because it's important It's important to me. Yeah, that's a lot of paint. So I'm going to scrape off camera over here on my other sheet. She's right, you know, no rhyme or reason. You're just moving paint around in which way. And for many of us, the grungier, the better. And this stuff dries really fast. I'll show you my wipe-off pages at the end. And I'm working with a very limited palette. I want the whole book to be the beautiful colors that I'm going to try it a little bit differently this time and put the paint on my card and see how that works. I want all of the pages to have just the colors that are in this beautiful cover. Just because working with a limited palette makes your life quite a bit easier. Because if you have the entire spectrum to deal with or to choose from, that can be pretty intimidating and it can get out of hand pretty fast. So I only have a handful of colors: blue, dark teal, bright blue, and a rusty orangey color, which I've been getting by mixing brown and orange together, because the orange is just a teensy bit too bright. So I'm toning it down with a little bit of brown. And I still have color on my card, so that will either mix in and grunge up the brown even more, or I can clean it off and start with a nice clean card. Now the orange is it should be just an accent, because so I got way too much on here. Usually what I do, and I don't know why I didn't do it this time, because I wasn't thinking, you know, it's trying to do a mindless project. When I want something to be just an accent color, I tend to put that down first and then layer it up so that the more prominent colors are on top and remain more prominent. Right now the brown and orange is the main attraction, and I don't want that, so I am gonna do some more of these other colors. Where you going, Bets? Tone down some of those orange and browns I just put on there. A little bit brighter blue. We'll try that this time. I like this dark brown, dark blue, so I'm going to put that down. It's not a lot of difference, but it is a little less bright than the one I just put down. And there's always a point in a project where you look at it and go, oh dear, maybe I shouldn't have done that last step, or oh, did I just push it too far? And once in a great while that happens, but typically you just keep going and it ends up beautiful. And if it doesn't, well, that's what gesso is for, and gluing beautiful digikits over is for. There's always a way to make it work. Now the last thing I'm going to put on is just a teensy tiny little bit of gold. For this, I'm going to put it right on the card, so I have a little more control over where it goes. And generally speaking, I'm not much into gold, but I do like shiny and sparkly, and silver doesn't lend itself too well with this color palette. So I am adding a tiny bit, nor does rose gold. It's too pinky for this, so I'm using vintage. I believe it's called vintage. Sorry, it's called pure gold. It's just a cheap metallic folk art from Walmart, but it adds just a little something to these pages, and of course inspired by others. Carrie at Mixed Media Arts did a great gold experiment. She bought every gold known to man, and then she did her own experiments to find out which one she liked best. And I think it was super fun to do, or to watch. I did not do it. This is the very best gold because it's the only one I have. So this one rocks. It's fantastic. Yeah. Use what you have. Again, I just want a little bit of it here and there. I'm going to call that particular page done for right now. It's still shiny, so it's still wet, so I don't want to put these pages together. And that gold just gives it a little bit of, just a little something special. I don't know what I'm going to put on top of it. I have no idea. I am going to hit this. This isn't watercolor. It's not moving. It's not doing anything on its own. The only thing that's happening is the moisture is evaporating. I'm going to speed that up by hitting it with a heat tool. I've said 100 times on here, if it's watercolor, I usually don't speed up the drying process because I like it to do what it's going to do all on its own. And heating it stops that. But if it's not moving and it's not creating magic, you may as well speed it up for sure. I don't want the pages to stick together. Just gonna put a clip on those. I'm also wanting to do before we move on, here are the scrape clean offs. Nothing to speak about right now, nothing too cool at all, just clean offs. But you keep layering and layering and layering, and eventually they're awesome. Don't let looking like crap right now fool you, because they might turn into something wonderful. The other thing that I'm wanting to try is Know It Art's smush idea. So she just takes paint here and there and drops it. Right onto the... And I imagine you kind of got to go fast with this because you don't want stuff to dry where it's at. This you want moving around too. And I do want a little bit of this gold in this. Now, I don't know if this is enough paint or not. I've never done this before in a book, so we'll have to see. I do want to protect that underneath page, and I may have to protect this page as well. And then you just smush it. That's where her Manson lamps came from. The creepy guy. I love what's happening here. See how the where it's mixed and the texture. I love all of that. What I'm not keen on are these polka dots and all the white space in between. So I have a couple options. I can take my credit card back out and start doing things. But I don't want to mess any of that up. So what I think I'm going to do is leave it for now. Let it dry naturally. Even though hitting it with a gun at this point is not going to matter much at all. It would be fine. But I will come back to it when this is dry. And we'll go from there. So now that it's dried, I like those polka dots a whole lot better. Look at all the texture. I think you can see it. I don't know. Anyway, they're kind of cool, so I may just leave them. I do have some ideas for this area, but that's a story for another day. There's still some wet, shiny spots. There was a lot of paint. I have no idea how long it's been sitting here, and yet there's still... It's pretty damp, though. You know, winter is creeping in, and so the weather's pretty chilly. Also inspired by Janet's video this morning. It was her... I just got a chance to watch her live video from Halloween. I think it was Halloween. Her scraping video. I'm not even sure. I watched it just a little while ago, and honestly, I don't remember what day it was from. But in addition to her scraping, she also did some mark making and some doodling. Again, inspired by Janet Nash's video about mark making. So I'm going to take just some cheap Dollar Tree acrylic paint and put it on my ceramic tile. Mush it around a little bit. Of course, now I got a lot of paint on my card. I've got these medicine jars. They fit nicely to each other. And they've got circles here, and a different kind of circle here, and a different kind of circle here, and a different kind of circle here, times 2. That's a lot of circles. So I just wanted to play around with this a little bit and see if they're worth keeping. I'm going to use them. Of course, that's going to leave. Well, we'll just see what it's going to leave. Of course, if you get paint all over, it'll leave solid circles, but it's not getting paint all over it, so it's just leaving partial circles, which is fine by me. And if we twist that around and go the other way, we'll see what kind of circles this makes. Just playing, which is always fun, you know. Well, those are huge. They're really big. Bottom. So is that the exact same size as the top? It is. Imagine that. We'll try this little guy. I try to always go off the page a little bit and give my circle a little spin so that it's not perfectly symmetrical. You have some wide spots and some thin spots. It's okay to go back over it a time or two. That's pretty cool. Not nearly as cool as that. It's not bad, but that was awesome. I wonder if I missed it a bit. Wet it without moving it. I don't really like it, but everything is better in threes. So, wet it one more time. See if we can get that third one again. Not so much. So there, one video inspired 3 pages. So Janet's mark making. What I think I'm going to do is do some doodling on here once the stuff dries. Then we did the card scraping, which was great fun. Has a little bit of bling. And the smush page, that despite my best efforts is still sticking to itself. The smush page. These always remind me of Rorschach tests, of course. Why wouldn't they? I don't see any Charles Manson guys in this one, though, but what do you see? I think it'd be great fun to do an entire journal of smush pages. You do all the smush pages at once and then go back and see what you see. Do you see creepy guy Charles Manson? Do you see flowers? Do you see unicorns? Do you see whales or surfers or a stack of books or a boat? What is it that you see in here? And then bring that out. I think that would be a great fun kind of journal project. So yeah, I really have come to like these little textured polka dots. And just the play of the paint, how that just kind of spun around a little bit. And all of the intermingling. I really like how this turned out. So I can kind of see a direction for this one, but that's a project for another day. I see some sort of Thanksgiving turkey-ish kind of things happening here. A little, like chocolate turkeys. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, and some cherubs, golden-haired. There's their golden hair and little curly cues coming down, and maybe their wings and cherubs flying. Can you see them? What else do I see? This is really good exercise. It's kind of goofy, but I do this all the time in patterns, especially when I'm bored or I'm waiting someplace and I can see a pattern maybe on a wall, or my shower curtain has a crazy pattern on it. And every time I go into the bathroom, I see different things from Lion from the Wicked, Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. Lion, I see angry hummingbirds. I see a skull, like a sugar skull, when it's folded just right, when the folds are hanging right. And that, I think, just exercises that creative muscle. I'm always working on exercising that creative muscle. I look for things. What do I see in here other than splashes of paint and movement and color mixtures? I see chocolate turkeys and cherubs today. And the next time I look at it, I'll see something completely different. Anyway, I appreciate your time today. I hope you got some inspiration and some ideas and had some fun. I like to see how things are going along. This book's coming along quite nicely. There's several pages still left to do, but it helps to keep it out. And that's a video I'm going to do here shortly about making things easier, at least for me. It seems, as I pay attention to these things, it seems like the people that I watch do certain things that makes things go faster for them, easier, makes it easier for them to create. And I'm kind of honing that all in, and I want to put it together for you in a video. So that's another video for a future day. Between now and then, you have a lovely, lovely crafty day. Love up your Beasleys. Mate at the lake. Out for now.